Richard Linklater series, everybody. So last week I talked about a movie called Slacker, which was his second feature film. It was a tiny independent movie from 1991, and today I will be talking about Dazed and Confused, which came out in 1993, and the story focuses on various groups of teenagers during the last day of school in 1976. And just like Slacker, this movie takes place in a span of one day, and we see these characters, living their lives. Now, I remember the first time I saw this movie, and to be honest, I thought it was fine. Just another fun high school stoner comedy, nothing groundbreaking about it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It was just one of those movies. Then, a couple years later, I saw it again and I realized, oh, so that's what this movie was about. And since then, I've seen it multiple times, and last week I saw it like 5 times. I can literally watch this movie every day. I love Dazed and Confused. Now, this is a coming-of-age movie that takes place in high school, and high school is a really weird place, and we all have different experiences. Some of you would say, oh man, high school was the greatest, man. I got drunk, I got stoned, I fucked a lot of girls. I mean, it was the best time in my life, man. And others would probably say, it sucked. Like me, for instance. Like, I didn't like my high school. I hated all the petty teenage drama. I met a lot of, douchey people, and it was frustrating. It was stressful. But it's so weird because every time I watch this movie, I get this weirdly nostalgic feeling that maybe in retrospect, high school wasn't so bad. Maybe it wasn't so bad. I start to notice small things. I start to think, I miss the little parties I went to, or the time I got super drunk, or, the mundane conversations I had with my friends. Those little moments that I didn't give 2 shits about at the time. And that's partly because this movie has so many authentic characters who are likable and relatable on multiple levels. We have the jocks, the potheads, the cool kids, the outsiders, the bitches, everyone in between, and the older graduates who still hang out with high school kids, the freshmen, the juniors, the seniors, even the parents, just all kinds of people. That's one of the things I love about this movie, because nowadays coming-of-age movies are usually about, the misfits or socially awkward kids, and there's nothing wrong with movies like that. Don't get me wrong, I love movies like that when they are done right, but most of the time they are very one-sided, you know what I mean? But in Dazed and Confused, we get to see this a day-in-the-life story through multiple perspectives, from the freshman's perspective, and there's the nerd's perspective, and there's the jock's perspective, and even the pothead's perspective too. Now, in the case of Slacker, we couldn't really invest in any of the characters, partly because of how the story played out, or the lack of plot or structure, and we were only able to grasp some vague ideas on who these people were. But the characters in Dazed and Confused are so relatable and fully realized, and the conversations they have are absolutely riveting. Linklater is a masterclass writer when it comes to the naturalistic dialogue, and although there isn't much conversations about social issues or conspiracy theories, this time he focuses more on the internal struggles of his characters. Things like, what are we supposed to do after high school? What are we preparing ourselves for? And what's the meaning of all this stuff that we learn? These characters are confused and lost and have doubts about the future, about life, and those quiet and serious moments are what makes this movie special to me. And don't get me wrong, I love all the other stuff in the movie too, the loud parties, doing drugs. I don't do drugs myself, but watching people doing it is certainly fun. Heavy drinking, making out with girls, and just trying to be cool and blend in with the people around you. I love the vibe, I love the feeling of this time period, and it's energetic, it's playful, and it has a killer soundtrack. But more importantly, this movie has great characters played by really good actors. By far my favorite character is this guy right here, McConaughey as Wooderson. This character is awesome, and at the same time, he is such a creep. That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age. Oh god, it's like, what are you? Now I have really tiny criticism in regards to the characters. It's the overall number of characters, and it can be overwhelming, especially if you watch it for the first time. I had this problem the first time I saw it because I just didn't know who to root for. There were so many characters, and you know, it took me a while to match the face with the name. It was like, who are these people? But at the end, those are just small nitpicks, and it doesn't change the fact that I love Dazed and Confused. It's a smart movie, it's a great party movie, and it's one of the most rewatchable movies of all time. I'm gonna give Dazed and Confused an A. Alright. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And next up, I will be talking about Before Sunrise. Now, this movie right here, this is something I've wanted to talk about for quite some time, so look forward to that. And once again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel as well. And please check out my Facebook page down below, because that's always a party. And I post some, written reviews every now and then, so, just give it a like. And I'll see you guys in the next video.